Hello everybody, this is another Hot Wheels Collector video. Today I am going to be reacting to the 2024 C case. This has just been unveiled literally yesterday as I'm recording this video. And yeah, before we do get into this reaction, I will first of all shout out the people who are providing me footage for this video, and that being Ministry of Diecast and also WS Smart Diecast. The majority of this footage is from Ministry of Diecast though. I will link both the original creators and their videos in the description as well as in the pinned comment under this video. Make sure to check out the original videos if you haven't already. They do actually have more content than what I'm about to show you. I have cut out some bits and pieces here and there. And yeah, this is kind of just a reaction video. I'm going to be giving my thoughts and opinions throughout. But anyways, let's get straight into this reaction then. Alright, so jumping straight into this reaction then, we first of all have the Baja Bison T5 done in glossy black. Receiving side tampo, it does roll on the Aerodisc wheels which have been done in black with this orange chrome lip. That is new for this case, but I'm not personally excited about it because it's a fantasy car. This car which you're seeing right now also returns from the previous case, the 19 Ford Ranger Raptor. In the HKS livery, does receive side tampo and top tampo. It's on the off-road 5-spoke wheels done in black with a chrome blue lip. We also have the Humvee returning from the previous case as well, done in this matte grey colour, quite a light grey. It is receiving side tampo and top tampo, and it's on the weird off-road wheels, which I've honestly not seen for a very long time, done in black though. Next up, we do have the 18 Camaro SS, done in glossy black, receives side tampo and top tampo, and was the Super Treasure Hunt in the previous case. This car is running on the 5 fan spoke wheels, done in grey. I don't really like those wheels on that car, not my kind of taste on that thing. I think the muscle wheels look way better on that type of car, and those look too big on that car. Next up, we have the Croc Rod returning from the previous case, a fantasy car which I honestly don't care about. We also have the Volkswagen T2 pickup returning from the previous case as well. Receives side tampo as well as front tampo. I don't really know what wheels these are. They kind of look like the Aerodisc wheels painted in chrome, but they sort of look a little bit different. I think they are just the Aerodisc wheels though. And I will also mention that that T2 pickup is done in this kind of matte greyish blue colour. Next up, we do have the Ford F-150 Lightning Custom returning. This is a brand new casting for 2023. It does receive side tampo and top tampo. It's in this what appears to be slightly metallic red colour on the Ryu Asada 6-spoke wheels done in chrome. Interesting wheel choice for that car. I prefer the Aerodisc wheels which featured when this car was new for 2023. This Batman and Robin Batmobile though is brand new for this case, painted in what appears to be glossy black with the Aerodisc wheels painted in chrome. Next up, we do have the Proton Sega returning from the previous case, done in this glossy red colour. It's on the Aerodisc wheels painted in chrome, and it does receive side tampo as well as front tampo. This 72 Stingray convertible is also returning from the previous case, does receive side tampo and rear tampo, and it is also painted in glossy white with chrome 5-spoke wheels. I will mention that Batmobile is not for my taste, even though it is new for this case. That's why I haven't written it as a highlight. Next up, we do have the GMC Hummer EV, done in this glossy blue colour. On the off-road beadlock wheels, done in grey. Personally, I'm not a big fan of this colour. I've preferred previous releases of this car. It's a nice one. It's cool to have it new for the case. I've written it as a highlight because it is new for the case and it's licensed and it's sort of cool. But I've already got it in metallic green. I do prefer that one of it. Some more fantasies which are new to this case, but I've got no interest in. The Mod Rod receives side and top tampo, painted in this metallic grey, almost gunmetal grey. Really interesting wheels, which are all done in white. Aerodiscs on the front, 5 spokes on the back. Next up, we do have the Mazda AutoZam returning from the previous case, done in glossy white. Does receive front tampo and side tampo. It's on these crazy large, like monster truck off-road wheels which appear to be 6-spoked, done in black with a white lip. Very interesting design there. I'm not a big fan of those wheels, but the casting is pretty cool. Won Legends Tour last year. I already mentioned that in the previous reaction to the B case. Next up, we do have the Honda Civic Si, done in this gold colour. It's metallic. Does receive top tampo as well as rear tampo. This one's going to be very desirable, very hard to find. On the 5-spoke wheels, they're quite an old wheel, I remember, done in black with a chrome red lip. This is new for the case though, the '07 Chevy Tahoe, done in this glossy yellowy orange colour. I'm actually going to pick this thing up because I didn't know they did a Chevy Tahoe casting. It's on the 5-spoke wheels, which have been done in black and do have a chrome red lip around them, and it does receive side tampo as well as top tampo. Really cool one for this case. Really excited to get that one. I'm definitely going to be on the hunt for that thing. I don't think it'll be too hard to find. That Corvette, which you've just seen, is from the previous case and is nothing too exciting. Does receive top and side tampo and is done in this neon orange colour. And this is also returning from the previous case, done in glossy yellow. Does receive side tampo as well as front tampo on that thing. Yeah, that's what you get. Pretty cool stuff returning. It gives you a second chance to get them, but nothing new there. Next up, we do have the El Segundo Coupe, once again returning. Pretty cool car. I did write it as a highlight in the previous reaction video, but yeah, it's returning. Does receive side and top tampo in this metallic blue colour. Next up, we do have a new car for this case, the Custom 68 Camaro, done in this what appears to be matte red colour. Does receive side tampo as well as top tampo. It is also rolling on steely wheels with a chrome orange lip, the same wheels which this car debuted in. They were steelies as well, pretty interesting there. This Dodge D100 is returning from the previous case in this very weird bluish colour. Does receive side tampo and top tampo and is rolling on the off-road 5-spoke wheels, which have been painted in chrome gold. Quite a cool one, but I do already have the D100 in my collection, and I do prefer the one I've got in that metallic pink, which was from 2023. Next up, we do have the Audi e-tron GT returning from the previous case. Does receive rear tampo and front tampo on the 5-spoke wheels, which have been painted in white. Nothing new there. Next up, we do have the limited grip, which I believe is also a return from the previous case. A really cool casting, but it's nothing new. Does receive side tampo as well as top tampo on the 5-spoke wheels, which have been painted in the same kind of chrome yellowish gold colour. Does look pretty cool. Very nice fantasy. The Lolux is also returned from the previous case, I believe, done in this grey colour. Does receive side tampo and top tampo, and the wheels are 5-spoke with different colours. They're both in black, but they have different coloured lips. This is new for this case though, the 15 Mazda MX5 Miata, done in this mint greenish colour. It's rolling on the lace wheels, which do have a white lip to them. It does receive side tampo as well as top tampo. Super cool one. I know that one's going to be one of the most popular cars in this case, because it does look fantastic, and there's not a whole lot of new licensed cars in this case, so I think people will be picking up anything that's remotely new, recolors and all, anything they can get their hands on. Next of all, we have this crazy Chinese New Year car, the Night Dragon. I don't know if this is a new casting. I don't think it is, but it is for the Chinese New Year, as I've said, for 2024, because that is when this case will release, around Chinese New Year. Next up, we do have the treasure hunt for this case, the Tooligan. Kind of reminds me of Hoonigan, which obviously is Ken Block's brand. Sadly, he passed away. Really, really sad, and it's a death that a lot of people who are fans of cars still are not over and will never get over. He's definitely missed, but pretty cool treasure hunt here. Kind of reminds me of the 2023 Time Warp treasure hunt, which was also done in pink. Does receive side tampo there, but it's not my cup of tea. I won't be hunting that thing down. If I don't find it, I won't be sad. Next up, we do have the Rock and Railer. I believe this is new for this case, but again, it's not something that I'm interested in. Next up, we do have the 55 Chevy Bel Air Gasser, which is something I'm really excited about. Looks fantastic. Does receive side tampo as well as top tampo. It's painted in this luminous orange colour, and it is rolling on the retro style 5-slot wheels, which have been painted in black, or moulded in black, I should say, and have got a chrome lip around them. That car looks fantastic. Definitely a car I'm going to pursue, and this one is another one I'm going to pursue. I think I've already got this thing in white, featured in the 2023 Q case as a new casting, and it is returning as a nice recolor here. The McLaren Solus GT receives side tampo and some top tampo. It's rolling on the 10-spoke wheels, which have been done in grey. They look pretty nice on this car. I'm pretty impressed with the way that thing looks. I think it might actually be better than the white one, which this car released in as a new casting. Looks awesome. Pretty impressed with that one indeed. Some more fantasy stuff here. The wheelie chair. I honestly think that looks hideous personally, but you might disagree with me, although I don't think many people will. But this one is one a lot of people are excited about. The Back to the Future DMC DeLorean in the hover mode. I've put this as a highlight because I don't have this car, even though it's technically not a new car. It's been done in the past multiple times, but I think this thing looks really cool. Done in matte grey, receives side tampo as well as rear tampo. And yeah, I think that thing just looks really cool. This Nissan Patrol is returning from the previous case, nothing new here. And yeah, I've already went over that in the previous video, so you can check that thing out if you would like to in the previous video in a bit more detail. But next up, we do have a brand new fantasy casting, the Moustache, in this really nice colour. It's a new casting. It's on the steely wheels with a chrome lip. They're done in black, the steelies, by the way. Interestingly, I'm going to talk about this casting because it's new. It does have a separate piece which comes off, and it's in the shape of a moustache. It's a pretty cool casting. I saw this revealed on the Lamley showcase, and I was actually pretty impressed with that fantasy casting. It's a pretty awesome one. Next up, we do have the 1956 Corvette. I believe this is Ken's Corvette, painted in matte grey primarily, at least. It does have flames on the side, it does receive side tampo as well as front tampo, and is on the aerodisc wheels, painted in chrome. Next up, we do have the BMW 507 being painted in what appears to be glossy yellow, although it kind of looks slightly metallic. It might be metallic yellow. It does receive side tampo as well as top tampo, and is rolling on the steely wheels, which have been done in black with a chrome lip. I actually prefer this one to the colour scheme that it released in as a new casting in white and then red. I think it looks really cool with the racing look to it. Looks fantastic. I think they've done a great job on that recolour. I am impressed by that thing. I think it does look quite a lot nicer. It just has a little bit more detail. Next up, we also have the 57 Jeep FC, brand new recolour for this case. Was a brand new casting in 2023. It's done in this kind of interesting creamish colour. It's rolling on the 5-spoke off-road black painted wheels. Looks great. It does receive side tampo and front tampo. I'll probably pick that thing up. Looks pretty cool indeed. I also like this thing, the Group C Fantasy, even though it's a fantasy car, does receive side tampo as well as top tampo, and it's rolling on mismatch wheels, which I actually quite like. I also like the colour a lot of that thing. It appears to be just a glossy blue, but it really pops on that casting. Really impressed with the execution of that. Next up, we have the Surf and School Bus. It is a highlight for me. I did highlight it just because there's not a whole lot going on in this case, so I thought, looks quite cool. Does receive side tampo. It's in this very interesting colour. It's an odd one. I thought, why not highlight that thing? It caught my eye and I quite like it, so there you go. Next up, we do have the Nissan Skyline R30 returning to this case. It was in the previous one, so it's nothing new, but it gives you a second chance to get it. It does receive side tampo and rear tampo, painted in a pretty nice metallic purple colour, and it's on the 10-spoke wheels, which have been painted in the chrome yellowish gold colour. This is a fantasy, the drift and brake, and it's also from the previous case, so absolutely nothing new about that there. Next up, we do have the Honda CB750 Cafe. That's a motorbike for you motorbike fans, but I personally don't collect these or have any interest in them. But there you go, for anybody who's interested in that, it is in this case. Next up, we do have the West Coast Flyer. Again, something I'm not really interested in. So it looks like a train. In fact, I think that's what it is. Really interesting design. Does have side tampo. It's painted in what appears to be matte black, or just a glossy black. It's definitely in black. Really odd looking car. But this one's not odd looking. It looks fantastic. The 1978 Dodge Lil Red Express truck in this really interesting red colour. Does receive side tampo as well as top tampo, and is rolling on the retro 5-slot wheels, which are painted in that same yellowish gold colour. Really awesome one there. Next up, we have the Mad Mike Drift Attack. A recolour of that car. Was a brand new casting for 2023. I actually prefer this new recolour of it. Actually, I think it looks fantastic. Does receive side tampo and top tampo. Looks really nice, and that is it for this case. It's a decent one, I'm not gonna lie. There's some really cool gems in here, but there's also a lot of letdown. Lots of returning stuff, lots of boring stuff, lots of fantasy. It just feels a bit of a nothing burger. Yes, it does have some cool stuff, as I've said, but does the cool stuff outweigh all the drab stuff? Not in my eyes. But I will get into my rating at the end, so stay tuned for that. But first of all, let me give you my favourite cars out of this case. Third place goes to the BMW 507 recolour in yellow. Looks awesome in my opinion. I really love the look of that thing. I love the racing look to it. I think that's what it should have debuted looking as, to be honest. Or they should have debuted it with the headlights and rear lights. But the debut version of that in white just looked a little bit bland. It was in white to begin with, and that kind of highlights the lack of detail on any cars, especially in the main line. And then it just didn't have a whole lot of detail. I like this thing. I think it looks great in yellow. Second place goes to the Chevy Bel Air Gasser. Definitely deserved. Looks fantastic. It almost looks like a premium. I really love the paint job on it. I think the paint colour is phenomenal. Looks great. I don't think it would suit many other cars other than this thing. Because it's a Gasser and it's already quite crazy. Crazy colours will suit this car fantastically. Looks great. Finally, first place. No surprise, I think it's going to be a lot of people's first place, is the 1978 Lil Express Dodge pickup. What a stunning little thing. Even though it is for the Chinese New Year, it's got the Chinese New Year look. It looks phenomenal. Really awesome looking thing. Definitely going to be picking that thing up. I don't have that cast in my collection, so it's a new one for me. It's a cool one for me, and that takes the cake for this mix, in my opinion. Do you agree? Let me know what your favourite car is down below. Is it a fantasy? Do you guys like the fantasies? Do you have a different favourite to me? Maybe you like the Jeep FC. I know that one's quite popular. Maybe you like the Mazda. Maybe you even like the Tahoe, although I don't think many people will. It's there and it's up for debate. What do you guys think of this case? Let me know down below. But now I'm going to give you what I think about this case. And that is in the form of a score out of 10. So one of this case out of 10, it is going to be receiving a 4.5 out of 10. A smidge below average, but it's a great one. It's quite a nice case. The stuff that is new in it is good. It's just all the repeats let it down, and there's no new casting either. All that combined is just going to knock this case down. I've got to be fair against other cases. This case just doesn't offer as much as others have this year. We did have a really good A case though, so I suppose this is kind of like what the A case should have been for this year. Usually A cases are quite bad, and this year's wasn't. But this is kind of the bad case, and we'll probably have one or two more bad cases this year, which maybe won't have any new castings or anything really awesome. But even though this case doesn't offer any new castings or anything super amazing, it's still decent. It still offers some goodies for everyone. There's a little bit of everything for everyone here. You'll like something in here, I'm pretty much guaranteeing it. But the thing is, you'll probably like one thing and maybe not like anything else. Unless you're an American fan, there's plenty of American stuff in here. You've got things like the Dodge pickup, the Bel Air Gasser, the Jeep FC, and also the Tahoe, as well as the GMC Hummer EV. Plenty for you guys to like. JDM fans may feel that this case is a bit of a drought. The only new thing in terms of Japanese stuff is the MX5 Miata. It's a cool one, but it's not even an old classic JDM car, so many JDM fans still probably won't even be interested in that casting. But anyways, I'm rambling now, probably far too much than you want to hear, so let's wrap this video up in the quickest way possible. So anyways, that is it for this video. So if you guys did enjoy, make sure to like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and you can also press that notification bell so you do not miss any new uploads. Remember, you can also share this video with any friends, family, or any groups who may be interested. But remember, don't feel pressured if you don't feel like you have anybody who may be interested. You watching this video all the way to the end means so much to me, and I really do thank you for making it all the way up until this point. But anyways, that is it for this video, so I hope you guys did enjoy, and I really do hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye bye everyone.